present because it's always like 0.75 milliseconds, like in
Oh
the
yeah.
past.
And what's even funnier is sometimes, because your brain works so efficient, you might see an object in a way that your brain will just be like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen, even though it doesn't happen, because like you'll see
Right.
like for example, like let's say toast or something, you'll see it fall, or like you think you'll see it fall, and it didn't actually happen because you're like like for a split second, like
Your
let's say
yeah, your brain's just trying to fill in like a blank that was never there.
it's overworking itself. Yeah, it's like it's trying to be so efficient that it's trying to like predict what's about to happen even though it didn't happen, kind of thing.
The brain's fucking weird.
For example, one of the biggest things used in email phishing scams in today's industry. Let's say you owned Shadowness.com, and I wanted to try to get your employees to do a wire transfer to my account in the Caymans. So I buy myself Shadow3SS.com, and I send people mail from you to your employees saying to send the money. And because it comes from you and your domain, because the brain automatically translates that 3 to an E, people are easily tricked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when it comes to reading, yeah, all the time your brain will just automatically try to like read the entire sentence or word before you even have time to finish it, just because, yeah, it's like
It sometimes works. That's how you can quick read, kind of
believe it or
efficiently.
not, people that are really like, and this is certain people that have like this certain type of like brain
They
span.
read in between lines.
Not just between lines. You can have entire sentences missing words, or have words not even spelt correctly, and they'll read it as if it's normal.
God damn it! That's
Yeah, I'm one of
or the
those weird people.
Nice.
If you
Or the one video on Facebook where they just it's just words in one location that's changing. It's a sentence that's one word at a time showing on screen, and you can read like so many more words per minute by not moving your eyes. If it's just projecting right in front of your face, instead of like moving your eyes and like reading over a line, you can just have words just thrown at you, and you can read it way more efficiently and fast than you would have to read like lines all the time.
That's why you'll see people who do speed reading. They take their hand and they cover the rest of the sentence and move their hand over the book so they see a single word at a time instead of the whole sentence.
That's so smart. People are like ingenious.
Did you guys ever see that movie? I think it was called Contact or whatever, where it's that woman that goes and basically tries to figure out like an alien race that comes
That
to like
was
Earth.
a cool movie.
One thing I loved about that movie, and it actually makes perfect sense, is like the way that the aliens contacted. They didn't use words. They used a symbol that would basically could be like an infinite. It could be an entire conversation as one symbol. So
efficient.
yeah. So basically, what the point of that movie was that if you could change the way that you speak to a person, you could essentially change the way that their brain works, or because you know what I mean, like the way that like you're taught to talk to people in society, the way that you use words and everything and texting, kind of defines who you are in a sense, right? Like,
right.
So if you have a more complex way of talking to someone, you have a different. What's the word I'm looking for?
Perception?
Yeah, and like essentially your perception. Like if you're able to just like look at things differently, your perception and everything is also different.
They have actually like linguistics, or what's it called?
It's the correct
like
linguistics.
The people who study languages.
Yeah, linguists.
They can actually track languages to specific characteristics. So like there's a tribe, I think, in Africa that they don't have the word no in their vocabulary.
Right.
So they're just like really positive people.
Nice.
And they lack the capacity to deny or to lie or to say no, because they don't have that in their vocabulary. They can't do that. They just don't have the capacity
They
to
don't
do
have
that.
the concept doesn't exist in their
Yeah,
brain.
so you ask them to do something and they do it, but it's not like people take advantage of them, because that's like their society. Their society is based on like this weird trust. It's so weird.
Yeah, there's an episode of Star Trek Next Generation where Picard has to communicate with a group of individuals who don't speak the way that regular people do, quote unquote. And Deanna is talking to the captain and explaining to him how difficult it is to meet a new group of anybody's who you share very little in common with and try to figure out the commonality of language. And she picks up a cup of tea, points at the cup, and comes up with a word. And then looks at the captain. So did I say, this is a cup? This is tea? This is a liquid? This is half full? This is me holding a cup? This is my hand holding a cup? What did I actually mean when I pointed at the cup and said this word? Without a base commonality between it, learning an alien language is nigh impossible.
Couldn't you use mathematics?
That's why
It's
most
mathematics
first
that's
contacts,
universal.
well, the only universal part of mathematics are primes, which is why you'll see, like in a lot of the more scientific first contacts, where they exchange primes. Then they'll start exchanging chemical symbols for known base elements like hydrogen, and start building a basis based upon things that are immutable. So basically, this molecule, show the molecule. That's obviously hydrogen. We call this hydrogen. This is the, and then this is H2O.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So start with prime numbers to establish the numerical system. So now you know what symbols in their structure and your structure mean position 1 in the binary. The biggest problem there comes is, what if they don't have 10 fingers?
Exactly.
What if they have 16 and they're using base 16 numerics?
Oh,
So
okay,
that's why you just go with primes and you use sound at first. So a single beat, then the number 1. Then they share with us their symbol for a single beat. And you go all the way up to 100. And that's where you can establish what base of their mathematical system is running by looking at the pattern.
That's smart. How do we get Russians to invent the word "the" in Russian? Because
Lots of vodka.
Dude, when I try to kind of get Russian, I can't build a sentence in my head because they don't have the word "the," which is crazy to me. Because how do you differentiate one thing from another if you can't have "the" in it?
Positional,
If you can't,
well, it's like in German. It's where you put
they
the
have
word.
it, but they have directionals in German.
Yes, they do, but also where you put the word in the sentence can be the that you're talking about. For example, you say, this is the pencil. Perhaps in Russian, if you start the sentence with the word pencil, that means everything following it in that sentence references pencil. So therefore, it becomes an understood the. Because sentence order and sentence structure varies between cultures too. And that is another thing.
Like a pencil in Russian is karandash, right? And if you want to say this is a pencil, you say это karandash.
It's a pencil. Yeah.
Well, take a look at Japanese. Just by changing the ending of a word, you can change it from formal to informal, male, female, question.
Japanese is so interesting, but they actually you can be understood in so many ways. Because if you want to say my name is in Japanese, you can say boku mao desu, or you can say watashi wa no namae mao desu, or you can say like a bunch of things. Because like in English, you can say my name is Mao, or they call me Mao, or people call me Mao, or my or whatever, you know. But it's not the same in all languages, which is why
No.
Russian is so difficult.
Like
Yeah.
in German, you don't have like my name is. You use ich heiße or I am called. We
Right.
don't really
That makes
have
sense.
like the word name because we use
Exactly.
descriptive sentences.
In Hebrew, we use like the most common sentence you say when you introduce yourself, your name, is korim limor. They call me my name. They call me. You don't say Hashem Shali, my name is. You say they call me, korim li, which is so
Right.
weird when you think about it.
Right. When you think about it in a different language, like in English or whatever, because you wouldn't say they call me Dave or whatever, you know.
So I learned English in such a young age, so I know the nuances of the language like pretty okay.
Nice.
Hey Shadow,
But-
check out your firefly.
Nice.
I think he doesn't know which way is front. I'm recording this, by the way.
Nice.
God, I need to go. All right, so I have a final on Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Well, good luck with that.
So I have to go study. It was really nice meeting you guys.
Oh,
I
no
hope
worries.
you have a really